Good morning, my beautiful ladies, and welcome back to another episode of Harsh Truths with Alicja Griffiths. I'm Alicja Griffiths, and this is Harsh Truth Podcast, which now is not only on my dedicated YouTube channel to this podcast, but it's also available on Spotify. So hopefully you will join me either here or there, or preferably everywhere. Subscribe, follow, give this initial boost so I feel encouraged to film and record more for you. I started this podcast with a special guest who just left. There was Elvis, my foxy, sitting on my laps, but he just left. If you are watching on YouTube, you saw him in the beginning, but if you are just listening, you probably could hear his little feet tapping away. He is not up for this conversation because this conversation is mostly for ladies. So he felt like he's going to leave the chat. But I hope you will stay and listen because today we are talking about a very, very, very important topic, especially for women. And this is about limiting beliefs when it comes to money. And those are limiting beliefs which are especially common for women because they are culturally or socially imposed mostly on women. And today we're going to get to the bottom of this. Why is this the case? What are the self-limiting financial beliefs that are stopping you from getting rich, becoming rich, and why society imposes these limiting beliefs on women? So let's start with the first, which is the most common and most obvious. And it is especially harmful for women because it takes part in determining the most important choice that woman does during her life, which is choosing life partner. And this is not about centering your life around men. We all are social creature. We want to partner and choose a partner. And it's not about making your life revolving about men when I call it one of the most important decisions in your life. This is a decision that determines so much of your life, how every day-to-day basis your life will look like, what neighborhood you will be living, what lifestyle and what activities you will choose, what financial status you will have, what the neighborhood and circumstances your kids will be growing up in, what the schools are that your kids will be attending to. So it's all very important, and this all depends on choosing your life partner. So today we're going to talk about how in many cultures and societies women are convinced into believing that choosing the man with money is a bad thing and speaks badly of you, makes you a gold digger, makes you choosing money over love. It's almost like you only have two choices: either choose someone who is poor and good versus rich and bad. And I don't know who created that type of one versus the other narrative, which has nothing to do with reality. And lots of women who follow and fall into this trap are up to a rude awakening. Because trust me, not all poor, broke men are kind, good-hearted, loving partners. And not all wealthy, established men are bad, controlling men who will then dominate you and you will have no say. I don't know if that is a common thing in the culture you grew up with, but I know, talking to lots of women from various backgrounds and me living in many countries so far. I lived in 6 countries on 4 continents, and I have my data in regards to many cultures. This is a narration created for women that going after established men makes you look bad, makes you look materialistic, makes you look selfish, and you will end up in a trap that you have no say, that this man will control you, will dominate you. Versus if you will choose poor men, you will be all happy, lovey-dovey, and whatnot. Who created this narration? Obviously, those are either broke men for who perpetuating this narration serves them. It shames young, naive women into choosing them, into disregarding the fact that this man didn't put an effort, didn't work hard, didn't build his wealth. So it shames women to be a gold digger. So she will choose those men who have nothing really to offer, not even in most cases, even a good heart. Or this narration is also sadly perpetuated by women who are victim of that cycle. They married this way and they are teaching their daughters this way because they think this is the way to go. Or it is perpetuated by women who cannot choose or are not able to be with a wealthy, established, successful partner because for many reasons they are just not good enough in order to find a partner like this. They are not attractive enough. And by attractive, I mean not only look-wise, but also that is important, but also intellectually wise, personality wise. Those women simply cannot get to that level when it comes to choosing partner. So they have to either downgrade or be single. So this is the narration created for women, which stops them from being able to develop their relationships, build a team with someone who is also like-minded, who also is willing to grow not only as a team, not only as a family, but also successful-wise and financially wise. And this creates very unhealthy dynamic because obviously, yes, you can achieve all of this by yourself. But then if due to these self-limiting beliefs in regards to finances, you will choose a guy who is not there, most often he will keep you there or he will continue dragging you down to this level and you will continue staying on this level. So this is very, very dangerous trap to fall. And this is the trap that entraps very young women, mostly when they're about to choose partner early in life. And so that's something to be aware of. Let me know if you were growing around this type of beliefs. And I would like to hear what culture you are from and what limiting financial beliefs were imposed on you as a woman. But I have a couple of more examples that in particular are in regards to brainwashing women. So they are controlled by this narration. It's funny because women are brainwashed with this narration, and the reasons to make this narration more palatable for them is officially to protect them. But in fact, those reasons are just to keep them dependent and entrapped just in a more manipulative way. So another beliefs which are limiting are that the money are bad, that rich people are bad. If someone is rich, it means that this person had to obtain their wealth in some dodgy way, that you can't make honest living working hard. So if someone is rich, it's a bad person, it's a stuck-up person, it's a snobbish person, it's a, in general, bad person, yeah? This is a poverty mindset that keeps you in the poverty state of mind, but also poverty state of matters. Another one is that, especially again imposed on women also, that what makes a good mother and good wife and a good matriarch of the family or a hostess or woman of the house is that woman treats money as if spending is bad. So the only way to build wealth is saving, 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 and saving, and not spending. Meanwhile, the truth is that nowadays, in current day and time, you can't build any sort of business or any sort of wealth by just keeping it to yourself. You have to spend money to make money. So you have to either invest in growing your business, invest in getting your education, invest in acquiring assets that will help you to set up your business. Even this small example that you are seeing here, in order to record this podcast and talk to you, I had to buy a camera, I had to buy a tripod, I had to buy a microphone, I had to buy a laptop, I had to buy a program to edit this podcast later. I had to buy lots of things. So obviously, there is no making money without investing money. And it's not always in matter of physical objects. Not all the spending is frivolous, as we are taught as women, that if we are spending on things that make us happy, it means it's silly, it means it's frivolous, it means it's irresponsible. So women's spending are treated as irresponsible. How many times you spent money on something and you felt like, oh, that makes me look materialistic, that makes me look like this is a silly, unnecessary spending or whatever. Meanwhile, in order to make money, you have to spend money. In order to be seen as a professional in, let's say, real estate agent environment, you have to look presentable, you have to look certain way. It is all about investing in yourself, in your look, in your fitness, in your health, in how you present, in what you wear, and most importantly, in your education and eloquence. Those investments are the ones that are like putting money in a bank with the very, very high interest. Those are investments that will only keep on giving. And those are investments that you will never regret. So investing in your education and investing in yourself is something that will always pay off. And don't ever think that spending money to better your situation is wasting money, because those beliefs will keep you at the level that you are and prevent you from progressing to the level that you want to be in. Another thing that women are forced to believe when it comes to money, that you have to over-deliver or justify extremely to the very far extent before you ask for raise. When you work in the corporate environment and you want to ask for raise, there is also a reason why women earn less in the same positions as men in a corporate environment. And it's not only because of inequality. It's not only because of gender bias. It's not only because they are offered to pay less. The truth in many cases is that women do not ask about raise, do not ask for raise of a salary as often as men do. Men value their work, they believe they deserve it, and therefore they go after it and they ask for it. Women feel that they don't deserve it, that they haven't earned that yet, that they have to justify themselves in order to ask for it, over-deliver, over-prove, and so on and so forth. Therefore, in a trajectory of, let's say, 10 years, man is far more ahead with his earnings than a woman while they work both on the same position. So that is an interesting observation that I learned working in a corporate environment in the past. Another belief is that I have to struggle to earn, that earning money has to be extremely hard, has to be through many hurdles, and so on. Another one, very common for many people, is that you are born into your class and you are born into your financial status. And this mindset keeps you there forever. How many people grew up hearing from their parents, oh, this is for the rich people, or this is for this type of people, we are not this type of people, which installs a kind of program in your brain that keeps you believing this throughout your whole life, that this is not for you because you were born into a different bracket and you don't belong there. Meanwhile, all of this can be overcome and recreated differently as you go into your life, and mindset is really everything when it comes to that. You can have all the talents, you can have all the good looks, you can have all the know-how, but if you have a poverty mindset, it will keep you poor. You have to get rid of poverty mindset, and you have to get rid of thinking like a peasant if you want to make it in any business nowadays at all. And there's no way about it. This is the truth. This is the harsh truth. Another thing is that women are manipulated to believe that this is okay to marry into someone of a lower intellectual, educational, or financial status than you are. And women are also manipulated and shamed into that dynamic. Meanwhile, this always will backfire on you, and this is not something that you should do, because each gap, whether it's education gap, intellectual gap, work ethic gap, it will all come to marital detriment in the future. So certain things do not mix, like oil and water don't mix. Person who has a high work ethic don't mix with a lazy person. Intellectual person doesn't mix with a brain dead person. And there is no way that you should form yourself into those manipulative rules created by society in order to keep you trapped at a certain level. I would like to hear your thoughts on that. Feel free to comment down below and let me know if there are any other more rules that are used to manipulate women financially in order to keep them small when it comes to finances. If there are some other specific limiting financial beliefs that you have experienced, either growing up or in the work environment, which are either specific to your culture or not necessary. Let me know in the comment what you think, and thank you for listening to this episode, and I hope you will join me in the next one. This has been Harsh Truths with Alicja Griffiths. Don't forget to subscribe for more.